Ahoy there, my name's Beth and this is the story of how I renovated my 1904 Dutch sailing barge. This week, my neighbour got the worst news possible. So I thought long and hard about whether I was going to show these clips. Although I wanted this channel to be updates from life living on board a boat and living on the water and the community that surrounds it. So I'm going to show you the next few clips. So as a bit of context, I was walking Bertie on his early walk, and I came across a couple of neighbours standing next to one of the boats nearby. When I looked at the boat, I initially saw this hose pipe that was going into the water, and it took me a couple of seconds to realise what it actually was for my brain to process it. But actually it wasn't a hose pipe at all, it was the railings from the side of the boat, which are normally well clear of the water, but it was going straight down into the water because the boat was sinking. So my neighbours had tried to shore up the boat. They'd put lines on the stern and tried to use bits of wood and planks to keep the boat up, but she was going down, and with this she sunk bow first, and the stern was still being held up to a certain extent with these lines, which are now piano wire tight. So we were trying to keep the boat from sinking any further. However, with this, the boat actually sank bow first and pushed the boat in front of it further forward, which pushed that boat underneath the concrete walkway. And the result of that is that when the tide came up on the next cycle, it would have trapped that boat underneath the concrete walkway. It would have overcome the boat, and that boat would have sunk as well. So we would have had two sunken boats. So in that instance, we called the fire brigade for advice. We dialed 101 and they said, you know, we can't do anything without it being an emergency. So they suggested we dial 999, which we did, and they sent a huge amount of people. There was I think 3 or 4 appliances. There was also a trained water rescue team, and they were the only people that were allowed to approach the boat very closely. And so yeah, that's the context. As I show you the clips now, that's kind of the situation. That the fire brigade were there, and they had a huge big petrol driven pump which they were putting on board the boat. So the water you'll see spraying across the marina is actually coming out of the hose that's attached to this pump. So yeah, I'll show you what happened on the day anyway. So rather horrendously, my neighbour's boat sank in the night. So we're waiting. We've tried to stabilise her, trying to move her into a sensible position, but she's also lying against this other boat here, and we can't move her. She's now down in the mud, so we've had to call the fire brigade, so they're on their way. It's absolutely horrendous. So yeah, the fire brigade have left now. They have actually lifted the boat, so the boat is slightly floating. Got a pump to kind of keep it pumping, but as soon as they stop pumping, the boat started going back down again. So yeah, so that's it really. So we're just trying to salvage as much as we can before the insurance company. So bless him, he's yeah, he's lost his home really. So but we can fix it. So, as you can see behind me, the 2 boats are safe now, and the cleanup process continues. It's obviously, I don't need to explain how devastating this is. It's my neighbour's home. It's where all his possessions were, and it's I suppose in many ways it's the equivalent of a house fire. But the neighbours are all rallying round, and actually I think if anything he has too much help, but it's very early stages now, and we're all just taking it really carefully. We're not trying to overwhelm him, and just checking in with him often, just spending time with him, and at the moment helping with the cleanup by doing laundry, and cleaning and drying his clothes and his bedding and things, and yeah, just helping him wherever we can. So yeah, it's just a devastating experience, and actually the day that the fire brigade were here, it was the event that went on until middle of the afternoon really, when we're still trying to fight leaks in the boat and continue to pump out. And I finished that day. I actually got back to my boat, and I thought I'd just sit down for a couple of minutes, and I fell straight asleep. I was absolutely exhausted, sort of physically and emotionally as well. I think it's just so shocking to see. So that's that. And I'll update you as things progress. But yeah, he's somewhere to stay. He's staying in the other boat for now, and he's safe, and the boat is okay, and the cleanup operation continues now really. Just in case anyone wonders what it's like having a border terrier on a walk, it's like this. So one of the things we forgot when we were putting together the wiring loom was that I need to run a power cable all the way from the distribution panel, or at least the power, all the way around up here down to the centre of the companionway, and that's for the central heating thermostat. Now that thermostat is going to be something like a Nest thermostat, so it'll be kind of controllable via my phone and everything, but the best place for it is down in the middle of there, of the middle of the companionway, because then it's going to be less fluctuating temperature. So rather than having it here, actually it is quite warm at this part of the boat, whereas it can be cold right at the bottom if you've just got heating up here. And that was one of the problems with having the really big stove here, the wood burner, was it generated loads of heat which just sat up here and it never went down that way. So I'm going to put the thermostat down there so it gets quite a good reading. So I bought some cable. So it is 2-core and it is red and black. So I'll be able to tell which side is which, and hopefully it's enough to run the thermostat. But yeah, so I'm just going to cable tie it all the way down the trunking. And that's okay because there's no other cables nearby, and I can't really open the trunking without damaging it. So I'm just going to run it down the edge and cable tie it in. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I've now got this 2-core wire. It runs all the way along here, all the way along the edge, all the way along here, and it goes over here to this part. So this this little coil here is just hooked out of the way to avoid me banging it every time I walk past. But this is the dropper for the light switches, and you can see here guest and companionway light switch. So the way the lights are going to work here is that these 2 droppers are going to be inside the guest cabin, and one of them will turn the 4 lights inside here. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4 lights in the ceiling. But what it'll also do is it'll turn the lights on for the companionway here as well. With the idea is that if somebody is staying here and they need to go to the loo in the night or something, they can click the light on and then the light will go on. In the companionway also there is a light switch here, so you can turn the lights, these companionway lights on and off, and also the under gunnels light switch as well, so you can put the under gunnels lights in. So you can turn the lights on and off here, you can turn the lights on and off here, and also you can turn the lights on and off actually in the master bedroom there as well. That keeps that easier. So yeah, so the this cable is going to drop down here. So somewhere around here, so if you remember, twin cabin bathroom, somewhere between the 2 of them, that's where the thermostat is going to go, which will keep it out of the way of the kitchen and keep it out of the way of the bedrooms and everything like that. So yes, that's a small job but a good job. So I'm sorry it's been a bit lightweight in terms of jobs on the boat, but yeah, of course there's been other things happening this week. Yeah, so next week anyway, I'm going to be going back up north, and so I need to go up there for a couple of days. So I thought what I'd do is I'd show you a little bit about my my kind of origins, and a bit about the boat that our family boat that I started sailing on. So that's next week. We've got a bunch of stuff on order, so we've got wood and tools on order, so they should arrive, and then we can start doing some really fun things, doing some interior stuff, which I'm really excited about. That should be another kind of big boost to the project. But yeah, again, thank you so much for everyone that's subscribed and everyone that's watching these videos. It really means a lot to me, and a special thanks to Jane and somebody. I think you might have wanted to stay anonymous, so I'll not say who you are, but I know who you are, and thank you so much. It's really appreciated. They both bought me a coffee from the link down below. So yeah, thanks. It's really generous of you, and I hope in some way I can pay you back by doing these videos, and I'm really glad you're enjoying them. So again, thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.